What's going on, bro? Welcome to the video. If you are new here, I go by the name of David Esparza, aka David Gaines, pretty much showing you guys how to improve in every aspect of your life, as you know, mentally, physically, financially, spiritually, emotionally, everything like that. And as you can tell by the title of the video, we are going to be showing you guys how to start day trading in 2026. This is a video that I wish, somebody made when I first started my journey, because the only thing that I really relied on was TJR's boot camp, and it was just basically a whole bunch of gibberish and nonsense, because I didn't know what any of the concepts were. And that's pretty much what this is going to come down to, is you learning, these concepts and how to get into the market and different ways to look at the market as well. But overall, just, starting where to start, how to begin, and, pretty much how to, learn this skill, right? So without further ado, we are going to get right into the video here. So as you can see on my screen, we have a bunch of different things popped up. So we're going to go through each and every single one. So yeah, I would advise you to get a pen and piece of paper so you can write this down, or just come back to the video and look at it if you do get confused, right? So obviously I have been in my day trading journey for like almost a year now or so. I first figured out day trading probably like 2 years ago, but it really got serious here probably in like February or March when I got my first payout. I do have some payouts here. It's not that much, but it is stuff that I've spent on day trading that I have gotten back out of the market. So I would say I'm in my break-even stage as a day trader. So I do have some screenshots of the payouts here, so I'll kind of pop them up here so you can see. So I am creditable. I kind of know what I'm talking about, and this is just for your beginners, because you do have a lot of these gurus, mentors that have been in the game for a while, and they know how to play the game, and they kind of take advantage of us beginners. And I'm not like that. I've been scammed in the past, and I'm not trying to scam anybody as well, right? So I believe in good and bad karma, and the man above is always watching. So I am just trying to help you guys start this journey. If you so do, please, because it could be an extra income, it could be another full-time income for you. It can take over, and that's pretty much what I'm trying to do at this point, is overall just self-mastery of myself. And I know the amount of money is going to come, because it is endless amounts of money. You can, as soon as you master this skill, you can literally print as much money as you possibly want, right? So anyways, without further ado, we'll get right into the video here. So as you can see on my screen, this is going to be the first thing that you need to get, right? So this is called tradingview.com. This is where it has all the charts. This is where you're going to map out a whole bunch of different things and basically just have a they call it like an analysis. You're basically making like a thesis, if you want to be scientific here, of where you think price is going to go, right? But we don't want to predict. We want to react and let price tell us where it's going to go, right? So it does give you signatures for you to make a logical decision, have a thought process to where price is going to go, right? So mainly we trade NQ, MNQ as well, micros, minis. So those are the different contract sizes. So here we have the mini NASDAQ. So if you're not familiar with the NASDAQ, it has two different contracts. Minis are more, micros is less dollars. You get like less money if you are sizing different, right? So just think of it as higher contract, more money, more risk. Lower contract, less money, less risk, right? So that's all you need to know. So these contracts do change here and there on the like throughout the season, right? So they do have different seasons in the market, right? So, but if you are, getting into prop firms, they do, update, so you shouldn't necessarily worry about them as of now. Um, so we'll kind of get into that here in a little bit, but pretty much this is going to be your chart. You're going to have to sign up for, either a subscription. I mainly just do the essential plan. I also have to do, you know, real-time data, because I use this to mark up my charts and then I execute on my prop firm. So I do pay for live data. It's like $27 or $25 a month, so nothing too drastic. But you don't necessarily have to pay for real-time data. I just pay for real-time data because if not, I have a delay on my chart, and when I execute on my account, there's a delay in time, right? So I'm not I need to have correlation. I need it to be in real time, so that's why I pay for it. But essentially, what you see on the chart here is going to be NQ. So this is pretty much on the 15-minute time frame, and I do have this indicator on, which just maps out the different sessions of time sense, right? So there's Asia, London, New York, AM and PM, right? So this indicator pretty much maps out the major draws of liquidity in the market. So if you're not familiar with liquidity, this is basically the bread and butter of the market, right? Where price is going to go, this is where you want to wait to see what price does, in order for you to make your thought process, your logical decision to enter the market, right? So pretty much what my whole strategy is based on liquidity. So what draw on liquidity have we met, and what draw on liquidity what draw on liquidity do we want to go to, right? That's basically what I'm asking myself when I am on the charts. So these indicators, or this indicator itself, does help me out a lot. And when I put this on, it made my trading a whole lot better. I saw a lot more consistency, and I pretty much don't trade until we reach one of these levels, right? So because I know once we reach one of these levels, I have a higher probable chance of me winning my trade, right? So that is basically what we wait for. So yeah, that is basically like the first thing that you're going to need to do is get TradingView and put this indicator on as well to help you out, right? So we do execute on the 1 minute time frame. So if you can, we'll go into this past Friday here. So I'll kind of show you guys an example of a trade that I took. So as you can see, we are at 8:27, 3 minutes right before market open. Market open does, skyrocket up, taking out these two major draws on liquidity. So as you can see, this candle right here is called a displacement candle. It also leaves this gap right here, which is called a fair value gap. So these are major things that you want to look for in the market. And essentially, what did price do? It came up, it rebalanced right into the fair value gap right at CE, or 50% of the range. And what did we do? We inversed this fair value gap right here, confirming that price wants to continue higher. So what did I do? I waited for price to close above this fair value gap. I entered, had my stops below this, either this displacement candle or the wick, either or in this case scenario. If you want to be a little bit more safe, you can put it right below that wick, but I did not want price to go below since it already retraced, so I did have it above this body. And what did price do? We ended up retracing a little bit to then skyrocket up. I ended up just catching base hit here, 30 points, because Fridays are pretty much low probable, and I don't like to target too much. I don't even like trading Fridays, but on this certain day. It just when the setup presents itself, I take it. If I like it, if I'm confident in it, I will execute, right? So that's pretty much all we're looking for. This is like one of the entry models that I trade, is basically a continuation model. We also we also trade reversals. So, but if you guys want me to make like a video on strategies and stuff, I will. Just let me know in the comments. But as of now, I just want to show you guys what you'll need to, overall just start your day trading journey, right? So this is pretty much the chart and the main indicator that I use, because of the draws on liquidity, right? That is the main way that the market moves, and that's all you pretty much need to know. How does price react off these major draws on liquidity, right, from the previous sessions? So for step one, get your trading view, get your indicator, and sign up for your plan that you want. You can do essential. If you want to buy real time, you can. You don't have to, but that is just what I do. So next thing that you're going to need is going to be the most important thing that you need. When I say this, you are going to need this every single day, Sunday through Saturday, right? And what is it? It is a trading journal. So we use Notion. I also take screenshots of my trades that I execute, and I go on TradingView and I put this little text box right here, and I write down a journal entry, why I took the trade, how I felt, and what I saw, why I entered, all that good stuff. What did price do right at market open? What did it do when it hit the drawn liquidity? Everything like that, right? So, and then from there, when I take that screenshot, I go ahead and put it into this little new thing. I write down, you have your date, you have your RR framework. I trade a certain model, the time. Obviously, I only really trade New York AM session. My confluences, whether I had a manipulation off of a draw liquidity, displacement, inverse fair value gap, all of that good stuff, right? My entry type, usually my entries I have been like an inverse fair value gap or a retracement, so that's mainly what I confirm my entry on. And then you obviously have your outcome and profit, loss, break even. Don't really take partials. Some people do, but that's just not how I like to trade. You also have why you lost. This is going to be the most important thing. You need to learn from your losses, because every loss that you take is going to be a lesson, bro. So losses, you're gonna have to accept them. You're going to lose. We are humans. We can't be 100%. So the more that you accept that loss, the better you are going to be in trading. And it took me a while to realize this, but I've kind of like reinforced like accepting the loss before I even enter the market, or like as soon as market opens, I'm already accepting the loss. I have something on my desk that says road to profitability, accept the loss, discipline, and patience in the market, right? So those are the three things that'll lead me to profitability. But you need to journal this as well and look back at your mistakes, right? Because if you keep making the same mistakes, and you're not learning, then you're just gonna be in an endless cycle, right? So then we also have a section what could have been done better. This is anything that maybe you entered the market too early, you didn't let your setup present itself, you weren't patient, you exited the trade too early before it hit your TP, you didn't have the correct stop loss, whatever the case may be. And then I have why I won. What did the market show? Pretty much your A+ setup is what you want to look for. If it didn't, then you'll put that in there. And then this is where the picture goes. And I've recently added how I've felt before, during, and after taking the trade. This has been helping me a lot just to self-analyze before, during, and after. because this game is really about how well you can master yourself, how you can master your emotions, because we are putting risk on the table with money, capital, and you know anything that you may feel. You want to, acknowledge it and write it down, right? So it's going to help me out a lot. It's been helping me out as well. So this is the most important thing that you need while you are trading, bro. You need to journal your trades because overall you're just collecting data, and the more data you collect, the more confident you are going to be in your setups, right? So these setups do present themselves like pretty much every single day, whether they're high or low probable. Yeah, I mean, this is the only way you're going to learn, is to get this experience, is to journal your trades. Whether you are doing a demo, prop firm, live capital, it does not matter. You need to journal your trades, right? So this is the Notion template that I use. If anyone does need this, just comment down below, and I will, leave it in the or maybe I'll just leave it in the description there for you guys, so that you guys can have access to it, right? So that is the most important thing that you need. Now we'll kind of get into how to get into the actual market. So there's pretty much 3 ways that you can get into the market here. So we'll go into the first one. What I kind of recommend here for you to do is just to set up a paper trading account, right? TradingView has a paper trading account where you can kind of mess around with live, well, not live, it's kind of like demo trading. So you can enter markets that you have, saved in your TradingView, and you can pretty much just mess around in it. This is like kind of me just messing around, taking different setups, see what works, see what doesn't. Don't really care about demo too much. It's mainly for me just to kind of see how candles formate and, take different setups and see if they just play out. So I don't really care too much about this. So if you are going to do, demo trading, I highly recommend that you take it serious, because the way that you execute on your demo account is going to be the same way you execute on either a prop firm or a live account, right, with real money. So don't take this for granted. Don't just be messing around with the demo account. But since I trade prop firms, I take that more serious than, my demo account. So this is just one way to get experience in the market, right? So if this is something that you want to do first before you spend money on a prop firm, highly recommend that you just get at least some experience, at least a month or 2 with demo trading. Just to see how the market moves and the setups that you would take, right? So that is the first way. And then the second way is going to be these prop firms, right? These prop firms, if you don't know what they are essentially a company that you can essentially work for. You're pretty much just a contractor with a 1099, and you just buy an account, you pass a evaluation, you show them that you know how to trade by making a certain profit target. And then once you pass your evaluation, then you have, funding to, make some real money on, right? But essentially what these prop firms are, they are, just simulated funds, bro. Like, it's not even real money until you actually withdraw that money from, whenever you can, right? So this is a kind of like a game that you have to play with these prop firms if you really want to like rinse them. It's more of like a casino, pretty much. People, tend to say that it's a casino and you're gambling because, they have all these rules that you need to follow, and, it's not really, your own money until you actually, follow the rules and pass their account and, get the certain rules to get that payout, right? So essentially you're a slave to the prop firms unless you know how to play the game, right? So just keep that in mind. Prop firms are not real money, but you need to take it as serious, because this is going to be a good way to get yourself experience in the actual market, right? Since you're putting your own money on the line and they're giving you simulated capital, you do have some money at risk, right? So these are some of the prop firms that I used and want to use. And I'll kind of go through them here. They're pretty well known. So, all right. So the first one here is going to be your Alpha Futures. So they have many different plans. What I highly recommend that you do is just get your zero plan here. This is mainly for beginners. If you are trying to get some experience in the market, they're pretty cheap. If you have, you can go find a affiliate code for anybody. That I know there's a lot of people that have affiliate codes. I do not have an affiliate code, so these are, all my, top picks. So I'm not affiliated with any company. This is not financial advice either. So go ahead and choose a prop firm that you like. I would just recommend that you choose the 50K account. It's a little cheap, especially if you use a code. And you can also pass in 1 day, and you can also get a payout in 5 days. And the max payout is like $100 or $1,000 or $1,500. I don't know, something like that. But yeah, that is pretty much one that I would highly recommend for you guys to pick up. Another one is going to be this Tradeify company as well. They do have, different plans as well, but the one that they just came out with is going to be like you can choose whether you want daily payouts or if you want to do the 5-day payout as well. For me, I would go with the daily payouts because I've gotten daily payouts from Take Profit Trader, and as soon as you reach that buffer, and you can literally request a payout as soon as the day ends, and it's in your bank within 24 hours, right? So those are like the best things to get, because once you hit that daily payout, you can pretty much, any money that you make, you can instantly transfer over to your bank. But does take a little while to get to that point, but it can be done, right? So Tradeify daily payouts, I would go with that account. I know some people have codes for that one as well, so you can save some money there as well. Another one that we'll get into here is going to be Funded Next. This is a new and recent prop firm that's been getting a lot of attraction. They do have really good plans as well. So I would go with the Futures Rapid Challenge because you can pass in 1 day, and it's easier to get a payout because you only need 3 days instead of 5. So if you obviously pass your account, you can get a payout within 3 days, right? So that's 3 winning days, right, of a certain amount. And that's pretty well, especially since you're cutting your time back if it's 3 days instead of 5. So you kind of just have to shop around with the prop firms, kind of see which ones you like, which rules that you think that you can not psych you out, I guess, because that's how they play this game, is they set up these rules to mess up your psychology, right? Because this is pretty much their game of prop firms, right? But yeah, all of them are pretty reliable. I do use Top Step right now at the time being, and they've been pretty good, but this past week they have been shutting down. I know a lot of people were kind of mad because they couldn't take trades, and because their platform was down. So there's a lot of outrage, but for me, didn't really matter. So it didn't really affect me. So I'm not complaining. So yeah, Top Step's pretty good as well. Pretty cheap. They did come out with a new plan as well. So they're all roughly around the same, price. So like I said, I would just choose one that you like. Just look out the rules, do your research, and just go for it. Right. The only way that you're going to get better at this is to get experience in the market. It's going to take time. It's going to take process, but you got to fall in love with the journey, fall in love with the process. And, that's pretty much why, I do this, right? So, trading has really, become a game of self-mastery for me. And, that's why I truly enjoy it. and I will keep doing it until I am successful at it, right? So you guys will see that. I will be posting videos when it does happen. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Like and subscribe, and then we'll kind of get into the other way to get into the market, so you can actually do live capital with a broker. You could put money into a account and trade that way, right? So one that I've been looking at is Tradeovate, right? This is a broker that a lot of the prop firms use. They just link their prop firms to it, and you can trade, on Trading View here. As you can see, if I log out of here, log out, and then you have Tradeovate right here. You just pull up, you either go live or demo, and you can link your prop firm, you can link your live account here, and then mainly just execute on Trading View, right? So that is another alternative that you can do, is basically just put money into a live broker if you are confident enough. But I wouldn't highly recommend that for a beginner to do. If you have some experience, I would say at least a year or plus to throw some money into a live account. If you know your strategy, if you're confident in your trades, go ahead and put some money into a live account if you so please. But obviously this is not financial advice. You do have risks that you are putting on the table. It's real money, and but essentially you're your own boss at that point. Any money that you make, you can withdraw from your account and go straight to your bank, right? So this is like what trading gives you, is that absolute freedom to be anywhere in the world, work on your own time, be your own boss, make your own decisions, and make endless amounts of money, right? So that is why I wanted to make this video here for you guys. If you ever thought about trying to get into day trading, this is pretty much how you do it. And then the last thing that I highly recommend that you do is get a mentor, right? You need to learn from somebody. If you are an absolute beginner, there is reasons why some of the great athletes have coaches. Some of the top business people in this world, corporates, they have business coaches, right? If you want to grow and scale something, you need to learn from somebody that's already doing it, right? And that is basically what I have been doing like this past year, and this past like 6 or 7 months we have been in Salman's Discord. So this is pretty much the Discord that I'm in. It is called the Inner Circle. It is by Salman Nasiri. If you go ahead and look him up on YouTube, you can find all of his content there. But obviously you want to try and find somebody that you relate to, somebody that's reliable, somebody that you trust, right? That's all what it comes down to. And pretty much when you get into this into any mentorship, you're going to want to listen. You are a student. Drop your ego and pretty much just listen to everything that the mentor says, because you are only going to fast track your own success is by you listening and following, and not letting your ego get in the way. That's why a lot of people don't succeed, is because their ego is just so damn high. They don't know how to bring it down. They don't know how to get humbled, and they just fail and fail and fail and fail until they seek for help, right? So yeah, man, this is going to be the video on how to start day trading in 2026. If you've ever thought about making a little bit more money, trying to learn a high income skill, or overall just building a career path for yourself, because there's a lot of things that you can do once you learn this skill, man. So if you guys enjoyed this very long video, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.